Welcome back to the show. I'm your Czar of Technology, Paul Amadeus Lane, and I'm so happy to have you with me. We kind of talked about it in the first segment. Social media influencer. What is that definition? Well, I'm going to read the definition. A social media influencer is a user on social media who has established credibility in a specific industry. A social media influencer has access to a large audience and can persuade others by virtue of their authenticity and reach. You can discover different influencers online. And that led me to this individual right here. She's awesome. Her name is Lindsay Jay. And she is doing something out there that a lot of people are not doing. And it's not just dancing. No, but it's something that she decided to create, which I think it's influencing a lot of people, opening our eyes to diversity. And I decided to have her on the show. So without any further delay, and joining me right now, we got Lindsay Jay in the house. Lindsay Jay, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. All I got to say is, let me see if I got it right. Samamoya, Brankanka. Did I do it all right?
Yeah, that's a Serbian song.
Awesome. Brankanka. So I gotta work on my Serbian, but I think it's cool.
Da brate.
Yes, that's so cool. And you know what? I kind of talked about it before I brought you on. Just, how you're being a social media influencer and the subject matter of, what you decided to cover on your YouTube channel. And
yeah.
So take us through, Lindsay, what made you want to have a channel, just like, centered around Serbia? Please share that with us.
Well, honestly, the whole idea of YouTube period kind of started about a year ago because I used to be a gymnast on the US team and I was traveling a lot, going all over the place, and I went to a country called Belarus that's really close to Russia, and it was an experience because I had finally been in a place where I was the only person of color ever. And I thought that was the weirdest experience. So after I was diagnosed with a condition in my spine, I had to stop doing my sport. And I was kind of in this zone where I needed to find something that I could be passionate and interested in. So I also go on online school, so I decided to make a YouTube channel, and talk about my experiences, the things I do, because I know a lot of people find my stories very interesting and funny sometimes. And I steered to the direction of Serbia specifically when I finally met my best friend who I knew for half a year in real life last summer in Serbia. And I actually met her through my ex-boyfriend who was Serbian. And so after I met her, I fell in love with their culture, their music, their food, and I just took that with me and came home, and everybody was asking me so many questions because not only did I come home with many stories, but I also came home with a boyfriend. And so people were asking me about him. They were asking me why I went there, how I met my friends, and I didn't even have the idea of turning my channel into a mainly Serbian-based channel, but I wanted to make these videos to reflect on frequently asked questions that I had. So I made 1 or 3 videos and they just blew up. Everybody loved them. And the very first video that I made that really became famous was American Speaking Serbian. And actually now I'm pretty sure it has around 7,000 views. And my second most popular video is my video explaining what it's like being American and dating somebody who is Serbian. And that one has around 10.5 thousand, I think, views. And so I took that with me and decided to just make my channel about that because I think that the diversity is amazing and culture differences are amazing. So that's really how it started.
I think it's incredible, talking about your career as a gymnast. It kind of opens you up to the world as being a diverse world and not just one person or one class of people, but you get a chance to meet everyone out there. And what's been kind of like the feedback when it comes to, I guess, the ones in Serbia who are checking out the channel, seeing this?
I get a lot of feedback. I get around like 10 messages a day on my videos, and people they just think it is so cool that an American Black girl thinks that their country is cool because everybody there is white, they're Serbian, and they're like, wow, there's a Black girl who wants to learn our language, who has a boyfriend from our country. And they're small countries, so when I walk around places here, nobody even knows that they exist. They don't know their language, and people who do know of Serbia, all they've ever heard are like vampires. So they're always really interested and always ask me questions. People are always like, wow, like, why are you even talking about Serbia? Why do you like it so much? And I love that whole idea of being different from everybody else and doing something that hasn't really been done before. So
And
yeah.
Lindsay, that's kind of what I really like just about your style and what you're doing, because if you think about the technology that exists today that allows you to do this on YouTube, 30, 40 years ago, we didn't have this. So this type of platform would not have existed for you to be able to, to show off, what you wanted to, to really focus on. Talk about that. If the technology did not exist, you wouldn't even be able to do this. Talk about not being able to do this and the impact that would have on you.
I have no idea. If I did not have this opportunity to, one, even meet my Serbian friends, talk to them, my life would suck, okay? My everyday life revolves completely around my YouTube life, all the people I've met. And if I did not have this opportunity to make my YouTube channel, I think I'd have the most boring life ever, because it really is my everything. Like, I'm very passionate and work very hard on my channel. And I think not being able to have the opportunity would really be stuck. I have no idea what my life would be like at all. It completely changed my life. One girl that I met last year during December, just had the ability to change my whole life. I mean, I started a YouTube channel, I met people, I had a completely different experience of culture, language, everything. So I don't even know where I would be without it. It really completely affected my life, and I think even had an impact on my personality traits as a person. It made me see a lot of different sides of me that I didn't even know existed because I traveled, and going to Serbia was the first traveling trip that I had in my whole life where I was international on my own and getting to enjoy myself as opposed to working and focusing on my gymnastics. So I got to see what life was like in a different world, and it's completely different. And because of that, because of seeing how their personalities were and then embracing those differences, I think I really changed my perspective on life, on people, on abilities of differences, everything like that. So it would just be crazy if I did not have this opportunity. I don't even think I would be the same person that I am.
And Lindsay, take me to, and you might not even remember this because you might have been young when you started gymnastics and everything. When did you notice that the world had a problem with people who look different, who talk different?
It started a long time ago. I remember back when I was around 7, actually, my mom was telling me stories of how judges would have issues with me and my hair during, competitions because, my hair is curly and I didn't have it properly. And so sometimes they would take points off. I did have some problems every now and then with other girls getting me mean looks at competition. So it started pretty young because when you do a sport that is very intertwined with other states, other countries, sometimes you really see a lot of different types of people, good and bad. And so I got thrown out to that pool very young because I joined my team at 5 years old. My first nationals was when I was 5 years old. So I was seeing a bunch of different things from a very young age. So I think that was around the time that I started to notice it. And now that I get older and see more things, I still definitely see a lot of differences in how people can respond to cultural differences. And interestingly enough, I have found that most of the negativity that I have ever gotten in my whole life has been within my own place. because
Mhm.
every time I have traveled out of the country, there are still countries that are very negative towards people of color. That's not that's a given, people are still going to be negative, but I'll go to places that haven't even seen somebody of color in their whole life, and they will treat me nicer than people who see people of color every single day and treat them like crap because they have that color. And I thought that was the most interesting thing that I have ever experienced.
And Lindsay, now take me through or to the time when you found out that ones would accept you for your color, the way you look, your friends in Serbia. How did that make you feel when you first got that interaction? It's like, man, they love me
It
for
was
me.
amazing. It was the best feeling ever because, you walk around here, and I mean, I'm not at all the type of person who gets into trouble, but I still have to walk around here being kind of cautious of the things that I do because I am Black. And no matter my personality, when a person looks at me, they see my skin tone, not me. So I still have to be very cautious. And when I first landed in Serbia, that was how I was acting at first because that's all I knew. That was the only way that I knew was the best way to survive through life in general. And so I got there, and it was just so weird because people would look at me, but not in a bad way. They would look at me like, wow, that is amazing. And because you have that color, because you have that hair, you are beautiful. And that was just the most amazing thing ever because I don't have to tell them that constantly. I don't have to scream from the rooftops that just because I'm Black does not mean that I am not okay. I'm beautiful. I love my color. They saw that themselves without me having to tell them. And that was amazing because I just was having this vacation, not having to worry about somebody thinking I'm going to steal something because I walked into their store with a hoodie on. I didn't have that experience, and that was really life-changing.
And then, and you know what, Lindsay, when it comes to social media, being an influencer, being on YouTube, I have this. I think you and I talked about this when we met face to face about
Mhm.
you always have haters. You always have people who are cruel out there. How do you deal with ones who are just out there just to be malicious, be Twitter trolls, and just not being positive? How do you deal with that?
Honestly, I just don't even pay attention to them at all because there's so much love that I'm getting that it kind of just washes all that away. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like little in comparison to all the great things that people have said to me. And I know that those people are maybe they have some issues going on in their life. It's just kind of stupid to be being so terrible to people online like that when you don't know them, you don't know their story. And, because I actually specifically am involved with Serbia, I do experience hates not only from here, but from different countries that have negative thoughts on Serbia specifically. Like, for example, I have had somebody from Croatia hate on my videos because they did not like Serbia. And the interesting thing is I'm not the type of person who's going to sit down and be quiet while somebody is saying something terrible that's not even correct to people that I love or a person that I love or anything like that or something that I love. So I wrote him back saying that he should not say those things because he doesn't know what it was like on their side either. And most of their issues came from, their war during World War I and II. And it actually started a huge conversation, not only between him, but other Croatians, other Serbians. And I steered him from saying the F word, saying we're terrible, to just having a normal conversation and discussing why he had those emotions, why he felt like he did not like Serbia, why he was taught that. And it was very interesting. It was definitely an interesting experience. So most of the time I just ignore it, but every now and then I'll come out of the dark to talk to them and knock some sense into them because you can't just be saying stuff like that when you don't know the whole story. So
That makes a lot of sense. And for ones out there who are listening right now who may think, you know what, I think I would like to get a YouTube channel, be a social media and influencer.
mm.
What kind of advice would you give them out there?
make sure you know what you're getting into. It sounds so easy. Make a video, post it. How hard could it possibly be? It's not that easy. You have to be constant. There's no way you can make a YouTube channel and think that, for one, it's all about just you and that it's going to be easy. It takes me up to 5 hours just to edit a single video. I mean, I have spent hours making one video to post on every Saturday. It's not easy. So make sure you understand that and you're not afraid to be constant. You're not afraid to talk to people because, you know, talking to your fans is really great, not only for you, but for them. Because sometimes I've even had girls who are from Serbia who have had problems at school, problems with boys, everything like that. And they really look to you to be the person to help them out. And if you cannot do that and you can't be a person for someone else, then it's probably not a good idea to try and get out into that light. And I would also suggest, you know, knowing what specifically you want to do. There's all types of YouTubers, and it's incredibly hard to become famous. So try and find something about yourself that makes you very different from everybody else. You know, find something that isn't common, you know, everything that's normal. Just find that about yourself and take it and go far, you know. And on top of that, once you start making more videos, once you start seeing kind of what your view based is, you can make different decisions based on that. For example, my videos were widespan. I was trying to attract people in America, Serbia, all over the world at first. But then I got one video, it went viral, and I saw that that was what they wanted. That was what was special about me, and that's what would take me far. And so you find that in you find that thing that people latch onto, and you take it, you know, you hold on to it and use it as your guide into becoming successful with your YouTube channel, with any outlet that you're going on. So, you know.
And you know what too, what I like, you know, getting into it too, in addition to being in broadcasting, is you really can't focus in on how many views and how many likes you have. Focus in on the people that you touch. And like you said, the ones that you've been able to touch, you've been able to change their lives. I mean, think about it. We live in a bullying age where there's a lot of bullying online, and to be able to help ones who are victims of that or having problems, I mean, that's worth his weight in gold. So people got to be in it for the love of the game. They can't be in it for the fame, be in it for the love of the game, and you helping to change your life.
You have to love what you are doing, you know.
Absolutely.
Like, you have to love it. And it's not easy at all. It's not going to be easy at all. But you have to climb over the mountain to get to the great side of it. You know, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be days when you're tired and you don't feel like editing or you don't feel like making the video, but you know that tomorrow is the day that you always got to post. And I mean, you got people counting on you, and you know that in the end of the day, it really is what makes you happy. And it's always those one little slip ups where you forget or something like that, and it just keeps on going, keeps on everything like that. So also learning about your system, what technology you have, what technology you can afford, and knowing how to manipulate the things that you have is also a very good idea when you're trying to set up something as specific as YouTube. You want to have good quality, and if you can't afford an incredible camera, that's fine. So just make sure you know how to edit, know how to use your outlets and everything like that.
Well said, Lindsay. And before I let you go, my dear, anything else you'd like to articulate to the audience out there?
Well, honestly, in life completely, I think that everybody should figure out what they're passionate about. And if you're older and you have kids, help them find what specifically they are passionate about. Because I'm one of those people who believes that unless I am happy in life, then I am failing. Because I never want to be doing something that makes me so unhappy. I have talked to so many adults who do jobs they absolutely hate just because they think it's the right thing for them to be doing, and it's not. You will see later in life, whether you're young, sometimes you don't even see it now, even if you're older, but you will be the most successful in the things you are good at and the things that make you happy. Because if you are happy doing the thing that you are doing, you will see so much potential in yourself, and you will be able to take it so far just because you're passionate and just because you are so driven in that one thing. So I think that's something to really keep.
Well said. And we would be remiss if we didn't give a shout out to our friends in Serbia. So give them a Serbian shout out.
Volim vas. That means I love you guys.
Okay, let me see if I'm saying it right. Volim vas.
It's volim vas.
Volim vas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Da.
Okay. I'm going to work on it. Got to give a shout out to my Serbian friends out there. But Lindsay, how can ones connect with you on social media? Check out, the awesome YouTubes. How can they do that?
Everything for me is at ITS Lindsay Jay. So, you can find me on anything that way. My Instagram, my YouTube channel, my Twitter, everything is that. And I highly suggest my YouTube channel because that is my most used social media. I kind of try to steer away from social media. So that's definitely my most popular thing that I use the most. So at ITS Lindsay Jay.
Awesome. Using them platforms. There we go. Get the message across. Lindsay, great talking to you.
Thank you so much for letting me come on here.
Hey, we'll have you back on again, all right?
I can't wait. Thank you so much.
We'd like to thank Lindsay Jay for joining me on the Tech Zone and our listeners internationally in Serbia and other surrounding areas. Thank you. Samamoya, Brankaka. Did I do it right? If I didn't, please let me know. I'll work on it. I promise. Hey, when we get back, we're going to be talking to my great friend, digital marketing manager and editor at the Black Enterprise magazine. I'm going to catch up on some latest tech news out there. You don't want to miss that coming up. I'm Paul Amadeus Lane. This is the Tech Zone. Talk to you soon. No, talk to you soon. We'll be right back. Yeah, we will.